So have you ever thought how the consciousness works? Because I do that every day since I was a kid. I remember I was telling my father before dying, the reason why I didn't want to go to school anymore, because I was feeling like I was oppressed to repeat always the same things for years and years with no sense, just like he was training his dogs. I'll never forget. So I came with these conclusions, and I don't know if you think the same way. Maybe you can let me know in the comments if you ever watched these videos. So let's look at the consciousness like a software, and we are the cell phone, right? So the smartphone. So you are your own iPhone, and the program, so the software in your iPhone is the software, okay? So your consciousness. In order to let it work and to operate correctly, so to use the power of this device, you need to apply applications, right? So once you install these applications, you start having and receiving the results of the power of this machine, right? So the same thing is with us. So we have these applications. I call them jobs. I call them sports. I call them hobbies. I call them video games. I call them distractions, news, etc., etc. So following certain behavior which it design your character, right? So it design your software. In fact, if we go to turn on each iPhone of each person, the layout is completely different of each of us, unless you don't leave the software stock. But at the end, the applications that you download are personal as yours, so based on your choice, so your free will. But how does it work if I've been installed applications that maybe I never wanted, right? So in this case, there must be an entity who's guiding us in order to download this application, so to accept this application voluntary, okay, and becoming a mirror of each other. And I explain better. Okay. Once I remember I sold cars. I was a car agent, so I was selling cars. And I remember that in the lot, 1 week, they came probably over 100 cars with the same color. They were all gray. You call them today concrete, okay, concrete colors. In fact, today we are tempestated of it, right? So there is no more colors. In order to buy a car, you see the new model, yes, but maybe you don't want that color, but you are obligated to get it because you don't want to wait. So that kind of vacuum takes you to buy that car of that color, even though you don't want it. But at some point, you're gonna start to like it because around, it's almost all the same. So we are guided to think in the way we are thinking. So we are guided to be bad with one another. We are guided to believe in religions that they taught us based on the countries that we were born. So all this doesn't make sense. So, and for me, it's an illusion. So whoever calls that this is an illusion, it's an illusion because nothing matters. And talk about matter, the matter that we have is created by our thoughts. So that means that whatever we are creating because some entity guided us to create that in that way. Not because we have a free will. We think we have a free will, but we don't. Why? Because we don't ask these kind of questions. Who are we for real? And what are we capable of? If we are able to think, feel, and manifest something that the AI cannot generate, and at some point, if we ever will be independent, we start to get nuts because it cannot do what we are able to do, right? So that means that they are hiding us a secret inside of us, for sure, is the consciousness connected with our soul, which we are all one. So the information that we are receiving the thoughts that we are having are not just that frequency delivered by some machine that they have, collecting the informations through our way of thinking, through our cell phones, and delivering daily basis to us these informations to keep us in that way of thinking. So we are literally slaves. So how do we get out of it? I think we have to start making questions. And if we do not start making questions, instead of acting per command, so if a building collapses and we are taking video of the building, everybody, because everybody's taking the videos of the building collapsing, demolishing because of investment and stuff like that, without thinking why they are doing that, and without thinking why we are doing that, it's just that we are at the end of time. So we have to start really to think to shift or to stay, because if we stay, we will lose forever the way of thinking and the reason of why we're here. Because our consciousness, it's so powerful, connected with our souls, that this entity is scary that we know the truth. So at least individually speaking, if you know it, start getting in that way, so whatever you think and feel, they're going to manifest. Let's make sure it's not what they want. It's what you want. It's what your soul wants, for the goodness of the community and the species. Because we are so ancient that we cannot even imagine. If you want to know more, leave a comment, let me know what you think, and I'm free and open to speak about this, because I think this is the right time. Maybe we are too late, but not at all.